My dear, if you're feeling tired, discouraged, or even afraid when it comes to money, you're not alone. So many carry a quiet weight in their hearts, believing they must chase, strive, or somehow prove their worth just to feel secure. But I want to remind you with all the love in my heart, there is nothing you need to prove. You are already worthy, right here, right now. No amount of effort or validation from the outside can replace the power of knowing this truth deep within. This moment is the doorway, the soft beginning of a new way to relate to money, to freedom, and most importantly, to yourself. Financial freedom is not about having piles of money stored away. It is about feeling safe, supported, and open to receive the flow of life's abundance in every form. This includes money, yes, but it also includes love, creativity, joy, opportunities, time, and rest. When we open the gates to abundance, we are inviting more of life to move through us with ease. And we do this not by force, not by control, but by faith and by vision. These are our gentle tools. These are the powers that already live inside you. Think of your thoughts as magnets. Each one you think sends out a signal, a message to life that says, "This is what I believe I deserve." Now that can be a tender realization, not to shame, but to awaken. If your thoughts are filled with fear, if they repeat, "I never have enough," then that becomes the pattern you live within. But if your thoughts begin to say, "Life supports me," or "I am open to receive with grace," then you start to see the world reflect those new beliefs back to you. Every person is born with the ability to receive. We do not have to earn this right. It is our nature to thrive. But many have forgotten. Somewhere along the way, the world told them a different story. Maybe it said they must work themselves into exhaustion, or maybe it whispered that they would never have enough, no matter how hard they try. These old stories feel real, but they are not the truth of who we are. They are just echoes of fear passed down. And the beautiful news is, once we see them for what they are, we can choose again. Right now, even before the outer world changes, we can begin by breathing in a softer thought. One such as, "I am willing to believe in a life of ease and flow." There is no pressure to believe it fully today, just the willingness to open the window, just the willingness to loosen the grip of lack. That willingness is where the miracle begins, because when we say yes to possibility, the universe begins to shift things in our favor. You may be wondering, but how do I begin when bills feel heavy, when fear visits my mind each day? That's a tender question, and I say this with great compassion. Begin with your inner world. Begin with what you can touch right now, your thoughts, your breath, your heart. You can place a gentle hand on your chest and whisper, "It is safe to feel supported." You can look in the mirror, even with shaky eyes, and say, "I am willing to receive." These are simple steps, but they are powerful because they begin the movement of energy from fear to faith. Let me share something tender and true. Money is not your enemy. It is not something to fear or chase. Money is simply energy, a current that flows to where it is welcomed. And when you stop seeing it as something separate from your peace, you begin to see it differently. You realize that your calm, your worthiness, your joy, these are all part of your financial well-being. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to beg for abundance. You only need to make room for it with your thoughts, your feelings, your quiet belief that life is on your side. It may feel strange at first to think of financial freedom not as a goal, but as a relationship. Yet that's exactly what it is. A relationship between you and life's generosity. And like all relationships, it requires care, trust, and openness. When you treat yourself with respect, when you speak kindly to yourself, when you believe in your own enoughness, you are nurturing that relationship. You are saying to the universe, I am ready to receive what matches this love. There is a softness in this path, a gentleness that honors both where you've been and where you're going. You don't need to pretend you've never struggled, but you do get to release the belief that struggle is your destiny. You get to trade in fear for faith, slowly, gently, moment by moment. That is how real, lasting change begins. Financial freedom becomes possible the moment we stop using money to measure our worth. You are not your income. You are not your debts. You are not your bank account. You are a divine being, worthy of all the blessings life has to offer. And the more you believe in your own value, the more the outer world responds with reflection. So I invite you to speak this softly to yourself. I trust life to bring me what I need. I open my heart to financial ease. These words, when said with love, begin to open invisible doors. They change your energy. They shift your state. And from that state, new ideas come, new support appears, new chances to thrive begin to show up, often in unexpected ways. Your vision of what's possible for your life is a light. Even if it flickers now and then, it still shines. Even if you feel unsure, the desire for freedom and peace means that something inside you knows it is possible, that knowing is enough, that desire is your compass. You are already on the path to financial freedom, not because you have everything figured out, but because you are willing to believe that there is another way. A softer, wiser, more loving way. One that does not ask you to sacrifice yourself to survive, but invites you to bloom into a life that truly supports you. Let us take this journey with compassion and patience. Let us allow ourselves to receive, not through force, but through faith, through vision, through love. And let the first step be this simple truth. You are already enough. You are already ready. The path is already opening. All you have to do is say yes to the light that is rising within you. That light will lead the way. Now let us gently explore what prosperity truly means, not as something outside of us, but as something already alive within. Often we think of money as the only sign of success, but true prosperity is so much more than numbers. It is the feeling of being supported. It is knowing that there is always enough. It is living with peace in the heart and openness in the spirit. Prosperity begins when we start to trust life and to trust ourselves. Many people were taught to believe that being prosperous meant having more than others. But true prosperity is not about comparison. It is about connection. It is not about how much you have. It is about how much you believe you are worthy of. And this belief begins within. Think of the earth, how it grows fields of wheat and flowers, how rivers run, how trees bear fruit without fear. Nature is not worried about lack. It moves in rhythm, in flow, in trust. And we are part of nature too. We are made of that same intelligence, that same design to grow, to receive, to rest, and to give. You may not have been taught to think this way. You may have learned to fear not having enough, to cling to every coin, to feel guilt when asking for more. But those ideas are not your truth. They are simply old beliefs, and beliefs can be changed. When we say, I am willing to live in abundance, we are not being greedy. We are saying, I am willing to stop shrinking. We are saying yes to our natural rhythm, to give and to receive with joy. Begin to see your abundance in the little things, the roof over your head, the breath in your body, the kind word from a stranger. Each moment of grace is proof that life wants to support you. When you open to that, you make space for more. And from this space, prosperity grows, not only financial, but emotional, spiritual, and creative wealth. You begin to see opportunities where you once saw walls. You begin to feel trust where there once was fear. You begin to know deep in your bones that you are supported. One beautiful way to nourish this knowing is to speak kindly to yourself. Words are seeds. When you say, "I always struggle," that seed grows. But when you say, "Prosperity flows through me with ease," that becomes your new garden. Another way is to write a list each day of things you already have: resources, talents, kindnesses. This is your wealth. It trains your mind to see the good, and what you focus on expands. The heart of prosperity is alignment with life. When you love who you are, when you treat yourself with care, life responds in kind. Doors open, people show up, and your relationship with money becomes a reflection of your relationship with yourself. So today, begin gently, speak kindly, trust softly. Let your prosperity grow from the inside out, like a flower turning toward the sun. There is nothing you need to chase, only a truth you are ready to remember. You were always meant to thrive. There comes a moment when we begin to notice the quiet voices within us, voices we didn't even know were shaping our lives. They whisper stories that have been carried for years. I don't deserve wealth. Money is hard to come by. People like me don't get to live freely. These are not the truths of your soul. These are patterns picked up from the past, maybe from childhood, maybe from watching others struggle, but they are not yours to carry any longer. In fact, the moment you become aware of them, you begin to loosen their grip. Clearing limiting beliefs is not about blame. It's about freedom. It's about looking at the roots of your inner garden and asking gently, is this helping me grow, or is it holding me back? So many beliefs about money are planted without our consent. They come from generations of fear, from systems that taught survival instead of thriving. But when you see those beliefs and love yourself enough to question them, you make space for a new story, a kinder story, a freer one. Start simply. Sit with yourself and notice the thoughts that arise when you think about money. Do you feel tightness? Do you feel doubt or shame? There is no need to fix it all at once. Just become curious. That curiosity is a doorway. You can even write them down, not to judge, but to understand. I believe I have to work hard for every dollar. I'm afraid I'll lose everything if I relax. These are not flaws. They are simply old thoughts looking for your healing. Now take a breath. Place your hand over your heart. Whisper gently, I am safe to release what no longer serves me. Let that be your anchor. Let that truth move through you with compassion. When we release old beliefs, we don't have to know exactly what will replace them. We just need to trust that life fills in the space with love. One beautiful tool for this process is mirror work. Stand in front of the mirror and look into your own eyes. You might feel resistance at first. That's okay. Keep looking. Say softly, I forgive myself for believing I was unworthy. And then say, I am willing to believe that abundance is my natural state. Even if you don't feel it yet, the willingness is powerful. It's the first step toward transformation. You may find that your body reacts when you say these things. You might feel a lump in your throat or a tightness in your chest. That's your energy shifting. That's old emotion being seen, honored, and released. Let the tears come if they want to. Let the breath deepen. You are creating safety in your own body for a new truth to live. Affirmations can be like gentle rain falling on hard ground. At first, the earth may seem resistant, but with time it softens. With repetition, the affirmations begin to sink in. Try saying, "It is safe for me to be wealthy. Money flows to me with ease and joy. I am worthy of all the good life has to offer." Say them in the morning. Say them when fear rises. Say them until they become familiar friends walking beside you. Understand that your outer world reflects your inner world. As you clear these limiting beliefs, the way you see opportunities will change. You'll begin to notice blessings that were always there. You'll begin to take inspired action, not from desperation, but from love and clarity. You won't have to chase, you'll attract. It's not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you were before the world taught you to fear. You were born with a heart that knew joy, with eyes that saw wonder, with hands that were open to receive. That part of you still exists. It's waiting to lead you toward a new relationship with money, one based in trust, in flow, and in grace. Let's now turn to faith, the kind of faith that doesn't need to see the outcome before trusting it's on the way. Faith is the inner knowing that even when clouds cover the sky, the sun still shines behind them. It is the deep breath when you don't yet see the solution, but you know that life is working for your good. Faith is not always loud. Often it is a quiet voice inside saying, "Keep going, you are not alone." When you have faith in the invisible, you begin to live from the inside out. You stop waiting for proof before you believe. Instead, your belief becomes the path that leads to proof. This is the sacred order of creation. First the thought, then the form. First the belief, then the blessing. Like planting a seed in the soil, you do not dig it up the next day to check if it's growing. You water it, you care for it, and you trust that something is happening beneath the surface. Your financial freedom begins the same way. You plant a thought, a vision, a prayer, and then you tend to it with love, with patience, with daily acts of trust. Every time you choose peace instead of panic, you are watering your seed. Every time you take a small step in the direction of your vision, even if it feels invisible to others, you are growing something beautiful. Let yourself rest in the knowing that life is not against you. The universe is not withholding anything. It simply matches the energy you hold most often. And faith is a powerful frequency. It says, "I don't have to know how or when. I only need to know that it will come." This soft surrender opens doors that effort alone cannot. If doubt arises, as it often does, meet it with kindness. Say, "It's okay to feel unsure, but I choose to trust anyway." Faith is not about never wavering. It is about returning to trust again and again until it becomes your home. To help strengthen this inner trust, you can practice a daily moment of stillness, just a few minutes each day to sit, to breathe, to affirm, "All is well. Life supports me." These words create space. And in that space, new possibilities are born. When you trust in the invisible, you stop needing control. You begin to listen instead of push. You begin to sense when to act and when to wait. This is the sacred dance of co-creation. You don't need to force the rhythm. You only need to stay open and steady. Now let's speak of vision. Vision is your soul's way of speaking. It's the picture your heart paints when no one is watching. It's the image of a life that feels true, free, and joyful, and it is sacred. When you hold a clear and loving vision for your life, you are not being unrealistic. You are tuning in to your own divine blueprint. You are listening to the voice of possibility. See it in your mind. Your life filled with ease, with choice, with joy, not in flashy, showy ways, but in ways that feel peaceful to your body. Perhaps it's walking in nature with time to breathe. Perhaps it's giving generously because you have more than enough. Perhaps it's waking up each day knowing you are safe and free. This vision is not a fantasy. It is a seed waiting to bloom through your belief, and you water it with attention, with feeling, with gratitude. One powerful way to activate your vision is through a short daily practice. Close your eyes. See yourself living the life you desire. Feel the emotion of that reality. Breathe it in as if it's already here. This practice is not about pretending. It's about aligning. You are tuning your energy to match what you wish to receive. When you combine vision with faith, miracles happen. You stop chasing. You start drawing in. You become a magnet for experiences that match your vibration, not because you worked harder, but because you align deeper. Affirm softly to yourself, I see a life of joy and financial peace. I trust the vision within me. It is safe to dream. These are not just words, they are signals. They let the universe know you are ready, that you believe, that you are open. Even if your current reality feels far from your vision, don't give up on it. Every great change begins with a vision that is nurtured long before the results show up. Trust the delay, trust the silence, trust the unfolding. Let your vision be a light you return to each day, a soft glow that reminds you who you are and what is possible. Let it guide your thoughts, your choices, and your energy. Life loves to fulfill loving visions. Life is always listening. And as you walk forward, carry this knowing in your heart. You are not asking for too much. You are asking for what is already yours. Let that vision grow strong within you. Let faith be your foundation, and let the old beliefs fall away like autumn leaves, making space for the new to rise. This is the sacred path of prosperity, and you are walking it now. Fear is a heavy feeling. It tenses the body, closes the heart, and narrows the mind. When fear shows up in your relationship with money, it often speaks in familiar tones. What if it runs out? What if I make a mistake? What if I'm not enough to handle it? These fears do not come from your truth. They come from wounds that haven't yet been loved. But just because they've been with you, maybe for years, doesn't mean they get to define your future. You are allowed to let them go. You do not have to force them out. You do not need to battle them. In fact, fear begins to soften the moment you turn to it with compassion. Place your hand on your chest and say, even now I am safe. Say, even here I am guided. Say, even this fear can be healed with love. You may be surprised how quickly something begins to shift, not because the world changed, but because you did. Worthiness is not something you earn. It is your birthright. You were born worthy. You did not have to achieve anything to be loved. That truth never left you. It only got covered over by the noise of the world. When you begin to remember your worth, the world begins to mirror that back. You stop settling. You stop shrinking. You stop doubting every desire that rises in your heart. You are allowed to feel good about having money. You are allowed to feel excited about your financial dreams. There is no guilt in wanting to live in freedom, in peace, in choice. These are not selfish desires. They are sacred ones. Because when you are resourced, when you are nourished, you can bless others without depletion. You can give from overflow, not from survival. Try this simple practice. Close your eyes and picture yourself at ease. Picture a version of you that trusts life completely. That version already exists. Feel the breath, the posture, the warmth in the chest. That feeling is your natural state. When you align with that feeling, even for a moment, you open the door to abundance. Not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, energetically. If fear comes again, don't resist it. Just return to the truth. I am willing to feel safe. I am worthy of a soft, supported life. I release the belief that I must struggle to succeed. These gentle affirmations are bridges. They help you cross from fear into faith, from worry into worthiness. And from this soft place, begin to speak differently. The words you use shape your world. Thoughts become beliefs. Beliefs become patterns. Patterns become your life. So speak as if you are loved. Speak as if you are supported. Speak as if you are becoming the version of yourself that already lives in freedom. There is power in your words. Let them become seeds of truth. Let them water the garden of your future. When you begin to live in the language of abundance, everything begins to shift, not overnight, not with force, but gently, organically, like dawn slowly brightening the sky. Speak kindly to your finances. Bless your bank account, no matter the number. Speak lovingly about receiving, spending, and saving. Replace thoughts of fear with thoughts of flow. There is always more where that came from. I am a magnet for opportunities. Everything I give returns to me multiplied. When you speak in this way, you are not pretending. You are practicing. You are building a new energetic home within yourself, one that money loves to visit, one that peace lives in, one that mirrors the truth of who you are. Now let's create a gentle rhythm to support this new energy, a ritual, not a chore, not a task, but a sacred time each day to return to your truth. Let this be your daily abundance ritual. Begin with gratitude, not forced, but felt. Write down 5 things each morning that you're grateful for. Small things, quiet things, present things. Gratitude expands what you have. It tells the universe, I see the good. I welcome more. Next, visualize. Close your eyes and see your life flowing with ease. See yourself walking through your day feeling free, calm, and confident. Don't rush the image. Let it unfold naturally. Let your body feel what your mind is imagining. Then speak your affirmations. Choose 2 or 3 that feel nourishing. Say them out loud. Let your voice carry the vibration of belief, even if just for a moment. You can say, I am open to receive. Life supports me in every way. My wealth grows as I rest in trust. Finally, take one small inspired action. It could be writing down an idea, making a phone call, or simply organizing your space. Small actions taken from a place of alignment create big results over time. This daily practice need not be perfect. It only needs to be loving. Consistency builds confidence. Confidence builds trust. Trust opens the door to the flow of life. And when it seems like nothing is happening, when you feel like giving up, remember that most of growth happens in silence. A seed does not make noise when it sprouts, but it changes everything beneath the surface. Sometimes life delays our desires not as punishment, but as protection. Sometimes we are being prepared, strengthened, deepened, so that when the blessing arrives, we can hold it fully. Surrender is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is saying, I trust the timing, I trust the unfolding, I trust the process. When you stop rushing and start listening, you will notice guidance that was always there. A quiet nudge, a peaceful idea, a door opening that you hadn't noticed before. This is the magic of divine timing. It works best when we are willing to wait with grace. Your journey is not linear. It's not always fast, but it is always guided. You are not lost. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be for your next blessing to arrive. So breathe, relax the grip, and return to your vision. It is still valid, it is still alive, and it is still on its way. Each time you feel fear rise again, place your hand on your heart and say, all is well, even here. Say, I am supported, even now. Say, I trust the delays, for they hold gifts unseen. You are being shaped for something beautiful, and your patience is not wasted. It is an act of devotion, a testament to your faith. As this journey deepens, your very being begins to radiate the frequency of freedom. Others may not know what changed, but you will know. You will feel the peace, the clarity, the joy that doesn't rely on proof. And so we arrive here gently at the remembrance of who you truly are. Not someone who must fight for scraps or settle for less, but someone born to live in harmony with life, born to be a channel for prosperity, born to give and receive with grace. Financial freedom is not just a number, it is a feeling, a vibration, a knowing that you are taken care of, and that knowing begins inside. So hold the vision, speak the truth, be gentle with your heart, say your affirmations like sacred prayers. I am worthy of wealth. Money flows to me with love. I trust the process of life. And let that trust guide you, let it soften you, let it hold you when things feel uncertain. Because even in the waiting, even in the quiet, the energy of your transformation is building. You are becoming the person who already lives in the freedom you seek. You do not need to rush. You do not need to prove. Just stay aligned with love. Keep choosing thoughts that bless. Keep choosing faith over fear. Keep choosing yourself. The universe hears every loving thought you think, every soft prayer you whisper, every quiet belief you begin to hold. And in perfect time, it responds, with open hands, with open doors, with blessings beyond what you imagined. So now, take a breath. Feel the ground beneath you. Feel the life within you. You are safe. You are ready. You are already rising into a new reality. Let this be your quiet promise to yourself. I walk in faith, I see with vision, I receive with love, and I live in the truth that all things are possible, because they are, because you are, and the best is yet to come.